I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos broke out. And I'm not talking about legit, bona fide boxing, pure boxing chaos. I'm talking about the kind of stuff that's just embarrassing. Look at this here, please.
This is a beautiful house, my man. How many square feet is this?
A little bit over 20,000 square feet, 3 or 4 levels.
Money Mayweather, seems appropriate that you would be living in Vegas.
My mentality is always about, working smarter, not harder.
Once hailed as the embodiment of boxing greatness and financial mastery, Money Mayweather now finds himself at the center of controversy. Recent revelations have sparked doubts about the stability of his empire, with sports analyst Stephen A. Smith raising serious questions. Could the undefeated champion be facing his most formidable opponent yet? Financial collapse? Let's dive into the $42 million scandal that's sending shockwaves through the boxing world.
The $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we on ESPN, this car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. It's close to $15 million. You're right, it's close to $15 million.
And you don't drive them?
No.
Floyd Mayweather has spent years crafting his image as the world's highest paid athlete, proudly flaunting $100 million paydays each time his name makes the news.
Yes, she did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
But now, a powerful voice from the fight world is challenging that entire narrative. Former UFC title contender and analyst Chael Sonnen is calling it one of the greatest illusions in sports marketing, claiming that Mayweather's supposed 9-figure fight checks may have been nothing more than smoke and mirrors.
Coined this phrase, fake news.
Yeah.
Why is he saying that? What does that even mean? You can trust the news. There's no such thing as fake. People were dressed up as empty seats, and I mean thousands of people.
No.
I bought my mother's ticket that day. That day, my mother decides that she wants to go to the fight. So I'm in there, and I'm telling the world that this place is sold out because that's what's on the screen. It's not even close. Yeah. This isn't like, it's pretty much full. There's thousands of empty seats. That was the first time that in my own life I ever just, wow, fake news is real.
Wow.
And then Mayweather, they wanted a rematch. They were begging. They were doing more media trying to get a rematch than they did leading into the first match. And the guys that wrote the checks.
While Mayweather flaunted luxury watches, private jets, and bank slips, the solid financial evidence, according to Sonnen, was nowhere to be found. No broadcast partner confirmations, no third-party verification, just flashy headlines and a carefully crafted image.
Whoever puts that press release and sends it out, never has a company that's publicly traded had an executive back those numbers. They're all lies.
And that leads to a harsh question. Was Mayweather's empire truly built on real checks or just hype, ego, and PR wizardry? Sonnen isn't the only one raising doubts. With a string of financial lawsuits, unpaid jewelry bills, and a crypto scam lawsuit trailing his name, the money brand appears to be bleeding from all angles. Floyd Mayweather has long been the symbol of untouchable wealth in boxing, the man who transformed luxury into a lifestyle and made his nickname Money a personal brand. But behind the private jets and million-dollar shopping sprees, the cracks in that image are beginning to show, and they're widening faster than anyone expected. Is Mayweather broke? No one's saying it outright, except his old rivals. Even Oscar De La Hoya, a longtime foe turned occasional supporter, couldn't ignore what's unfolding. Known for publicly defending Mayweather in the past, De La Hoya was recently forced to acknowledge the uncomfortable
But you
reality.
have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard, I know life is expensive, but come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse, your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
Coming from a seasoned promoter who understands both the glitz and the grind of boxing's business, De La Hoya's words didn't just feel like criticism, they sounded more like a financial obituary. The jewelry lawsuit, asset rumors, and a growing list of exhibition bouts all point to one thing: Mayweather's so-called billion-dollar empire might not be as untouchable as the public once believed. What's more telling? De La Hoya, once a bitter rival, is now offering concern instead of combat. That shift speaks volumes. When sympathy replaces rivalry, it says more than any leaked bank statement ever could. But here's the twist: Mayweather didn't stay quiet. While De La Hoya played the part of the concerned observer, Floyd reminded the world of their real history. When it comes to money and loyalty, Mayweather has long suggested that De La Hoya wasn't exactly a model of integrity behind the scenes.
We helped build this guy up. He was fighting on my undercard. He was the co-main. We helped build this guy up. And you know what Oscar De La Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar De La Hoya do? I'm sorry, Miss Disloyal Oscar De La Hoya do? He take him right over to HBO and cut a deal with HBO. And when he cut the deal, he got money, but I bet Canelo didn't see none. But these are the things that people don't know about in a sport of boxing.
For a man who built his legacy on flaunting untouchable wealth, this wasn't just about Canelo or old business beefs. Mayweather seemed to be pointing to a deeper pattern, one of hidden deals, silent payouts, and behind-the-scenes financial maneuvering. Ironically, the same tactics he once used to build his brand are now resurfacing in lawsuits, unpaid debts, and the quiet offloading of assets. And it's not just financial analysts or retired champions raising red flags anymore. Fighters from Mayweather's own era, even those who once stepped into the ring with him, are starting to peel back the mask. Logan Paul, who faced Mayweather in a high-profile exhibition, is still chasing a paycheck he claims mysteriously disappeared post-fight. And when Paul spoke out, his frustration didn't pull any punches.
No, I got paid. I got paid. Just not in full. Like there's a couple million somehow that is just missing. Where did the money go? Floyd said he could afford a Jeff Bezos-sized jet from the money he made from that fight. I ain't got a jet. Dude, I'm missing a couple mil. We're gonna find it, bro. I'll see you in court. The art is happening. Just like, mark my words, we're coming for you, Floyd. We're coming for your millions and the last of your change.
A court case, missing millions, and yet another fracture in the money Mayweather brand. What began as a flashy boxing exhibition has turned into a financial manhunt, and Logan Paul isn't the only one suggesting that the math behind Floyd's fortune might not be adding up. When fighters are forced to chase their paychecks through the courtroom instead of the ring, it raises a question that's becoming harder to ignore. Is Mayweather's financial empire already running on fumes?
Tell us now. Five. All right behind you.
All right behind you. But even as Logan Paul pushed forward with his lawsuit, claiming Mayweather never paid his full share for their fight, Floyd didn't stay quiet. In true Mayweather fashion, he fired back, deflecting blame onto the business side and brushing off the entire scandal like it was nothing more than spare change.
Right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when the tables turn. Right. You know, look how many years they've been owing us money. But we don't ever trip. So now when the tables turn, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Mayweather's calm dismissal painted the lawsuit as nothing more than routine business, but the timing told a different story. From unpaid opponents to jewelers filing lawsuits and rumors of asset sales, Floyd's financial fortress appears to be under pressure from all sides. And no matter how many smart moves he makes, the growing list of people still waiting to be paid is hard to ignore. Logan Paul's breakdown pulls back the curtain on a business strategy most fans never see. For years, Mayweather wasn't just making money inside the ring, he was controlling the money around it. From scooping up entire ticket sections before they hit the public, to flipping them for huge profits, Floyd's hustle went far beyond just fight night.
He is the promotional arm of his fights. It's why, in part, he makes so much money, because whereas a normal promotional company will take 30%, he is that. And so oftentimes for his fights, before the tickets can go on sale to the public, or like right as they go on sale, he'll buy a whole wing, a whole section, and then he'll sell them at a higher price, marked up, so he can make, you know,
like all the floor seats. He takes all of them.
All of them, 3, 4, 5x, and it's part of his business.
On the surface, Logan even admitted that the strategy itself wasn't illegal or unusual for someone running their own fight promotions, it was just business. But the real issue, according to him, wasn't about ticket flipping at all. The problem lay in the fact that investors were left in the dark while millions of dollars seemed to vanish once the seats were sold.
With this particular lawsuit, he had an investor pay $1.4 million in total for this section, and the investor was promised that the seats would sell at I think a 7 to 8x multiple, and he expected a return on his investment, and sure enough, he didn't get his initial investment back. He's strung along. He gets like $100K here and there, strung along, not getting paid. Now his investment allegedly is being rolled into Floyd's alleged fight with Manny Pacquiao, and so the investors being strung along on this thing, and eventually, like us, it's like, yo, we're simply not getting paid in full. Like, we've been fucking dragged along for way too long now, and this guy finally filed a lawsuit against Floyd Mayweather. So that's the one that's actually active and pending, and then here we are.
What began as a smart business setup has slowly unraveled into claims of broken promises, unpaid returns, and now courtroom battles. Logan's words highlight a troubling pattern that's becoming impossible to ignore: a growing list of fighters, investors, and partners still waiting for Mayweather to settle the bill. While Mayweather's public image continues to shine with private jets and million-dollar shopping sprees, the cracks in the Money Mayweather empire are starting to show. And this time, the accusations aren't coming from journalists or disgruntled ex-promoters. They're coming from the very people who once stepped into the ring with him. Logan Paul, who shared one of the most watched exhibition fights of the decade with Mayweather, revealed that the real fight didn't end when the final bell rang. It began after the cameras stopped rolling, and according to Logan, the paycheck he was promised still hasn't arrived.
Or is that something that you can't disclose right now?
He has not paid me in full. That is a fact.
No
short a few mil, yeah.
Wow. Still a few mil?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Have you been in contact with him?
Nah, we're taking this to court.
No, are you being serious? Is this like a
Do I look serious, lady?
You do. I'm just making sure. I apologize.
Really?
I'm just...
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. Yeah, we're taking it to court.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So,
Yeah, see you in the courtroom. Congrats, you're going to prison, Floyd.
The moment Logan's words hit the internet, the illusion of Mayweather's untouchable wealth began to crumble even further. This wasn't a bitter promoter or an old rival whispering in the shadows. This was a man who had shared the same ring, shaken the same hands, and signed the same contracts. Floyd Mayweather, ever confident and unapologetically boasting about his lavish lifestyle, continues to remind everyone that no matter the public's opinion of him, his success remains undeniable. His words serve as a reminder of the wealth he's accumulated and the empire he's built through a combination of hard work, business savvy, and strategic moves.
That takes care of everything when everything is okay. I still got my private jets. Let me put an S on that because I got 3 of them. Still got my private jets. I still have all my beautiful homes. Still have all my properties everywhere, and still making millions every month.
The moment Logan's words hit the internet, the illusion of Mayweather's untouchable wealth began to crumble even further. This wasn't a bitter promoter or an old rival whispering in the shadows. This was a man who had shared the same ring, shaken the same hands, and signed the same contracts. Floyd Mayweather, ever confident and unapologetically boasting about his lavish lifestyle, continues to remind everyone that no matter the public's opinion of him, his success remains undeniable. His words serve as a reminder of the wealth he's accumulated and the empire he's built through a combination of hard work, business savvy, and strategic moves.
When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
While Smith acknowledges that Floyd's ability to generate income is unmatched, he criticizes the idea of giving attention to fights that don't showcase true boxing talent. In his view, these exhibition matches with people like Logan Paul who have no real boxing background tarnish Mayweather's legacy and undermine the integrity of the sport. Smith believes Floyd has nothing left to prove and should focus on preserving his legendary status rather than indulging in headline-grabbing bouts that don't contribute to his legacy in the ring. They say, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. For Floyd Mayweather, that fall might have already happened behind closed doors. The man who once counted his millions on camera, flaunting cash like confetti, is now surrounded by lawsuits, unpaid debts, and whispers of a financial empire collapsing from within. For years, Mayweather convinced the world he was untouchable.
Man, and it's crazy, but it's happening. Yeah, 50 Cent is pretty much exposing the fact that Floyd Mayweather is having issues, but it was not 50 that started it. It was actually Business Insider.
They got Floyd here. It says Floyd Mayweather is stepping into Manhattan's multi-family ring in a big way. The retired boxer has gone into a contract to pay $420 million for a 1,000-unit affordable housing portfolio with more than 60 buildings, according to sources familiar to the deal. Josh Gotti of Black Spruce Management is the seller, and Black Spruce Magazine declined comment. It says also here that the investor partnered with Maynard Orchard on a $1.8 billion deal for 1,766 units spanning 6 rental buildings and in acquisition of the American Cooper Building, twin luxury towers in Murray Hills with the view of the East River.
The $42 million scam isn't just a headline, it's a warning. Behind the designer suits and staged Instagram photos, the truth about Floyd's so-called fortune is starting to surface, and this time, no amount of PR can save the money brand from bankruptcy. If you think the $42 million scandal was the end of the story, think again. The deeper this rabbit hole goes, the uglier the truth looks for Floyd Mayweather. Behind all the Instagram filters and private jet photo ops, Floyd might just be another victim of his own ego, a man so obsessed with looking rich that he forgot to stay rich. And when Stephen A. Smith starts questioning your financial reality on national TV, it's no longer just haters talking, it's a clear sign the walls are closing in. Floyd Mayweather didn't just sell fights, he sold the dream of untouchable wealth. But the moment you peel away the flashy watches and staged bank slips, all that's left is a man running out of time, out of luck, and, by the looks of these lawsuits, out of money. The $42 million scam wasn't just a bad business move. It might have been the final nail in the coffin for the Money Mayweather myth. What do you think? Is Mayweather's money empire finally falling apart? Or has he been playing the world all along? Share your thoughts in the comments section.